Hello everyone, it's Dan Mason with another response to an atheist. His name is Bill Pisaniello, QXR30. Here, I provided a strong rebuttal that refutes the philosophical equivalence drawn between naturalism and the Abrahamic worldview, especially as it relates to epistemology, moral relativism, and his claim that the same kind of uncertainty or solipsistic threat binds both. His argument attempts to place the Abrahamic worldview and naturalistic philosophy on equal epistemic footing by claiming both suffer from similar limitations in knowledge and certainty. This is a false equivalence. Let me explain why. 1. The fallacy of equating epistemic limitation with relativism. He begins by conflating epistemic limitation, our human inability to know everything exhaustively, with epistemological relativism, the idea that all truth claims are equally valid. These are not the same. Yes, epistemic humility is a feature of both the naturalist and the theist. But the theist anchors truth in the existence of an objective, personal, and revelatory God, a transcendent lawgiver who discloses moral and metaphysical truths to mankind. Naturalism, by contrast, rejects any transcendent source and thus cannot logically assert objective truths, especially in morality. It devolves into self-defeating skepticism. We can't really know, so nothing is really knowable. That's intellectual nihilism disguised as open-mindedness. 2. Naturalism undermines itself. Let's take your own examples. The uncertainty principle is a statement about quantum mechanics, not metaphysics. It doesn't mean truth is uncertain, but that some physical properties cannot be simultaneously measured. This is a physical limitation, not a philosophical license for moral or metaphysical relativism. The problem of induction, as raised by Hume, is indeed a dagger in the side of naturalism. Without a transcendental grounding for the uniformity of nature, there's no reason to trust in science or logic at all. The theist, however, has a rational basis. The regularity of creation reflects the character of a consistent creator. Genesis 8:22. 3. Divine hiddenness is not equivalent to solipsism. You suggest that divine hiddenness within Christianity leads to a similar form of solipsism. This is philosophically inaccurate. Christianity teaches that God has revealed himself clearly, Romans 1:19-20, through nature, conscience, history, and supremely through Christ, Hebrews 1:1-3. Hiddenness is not total absence. It is a moral filter. As C.S. Lewis noted, God remains veiled enough for the unbeliever to dismiss him, but clear enough for the seeker to find him. Solipsism is the belief that only one's mind is sure to exist. Christianity explicitly refutes that. God exists eternally, and creation, while fallen, is real. The claim of solipsism only logically follows from radical skepticism or atheistic materialism, not biblical theism. 4. Naturalism reduces all morality to preference. Your example of vanilla versus chocolate may work for taste, but you then sneak in moral dilemmas, e.g., the trolley problem, as if they are just higher-order preferences. This is the crux of your error. In naturalism, there is no objective moral value. Rape and charity are functionally the same. Chemical firings in the brain responding to evolutionary utility. In the Abrahamic worldview, morality is grounded in the nature of God, who is good, holy, and just. Thus, even if humans wrestle with dilemmas, there exists a true moral standard outside human opinion. If there is no God, everything is permitted. Fyodor Dostoevsky. Naturalism leaves you with no reason to say the Holocaust was objectively wrong, only evolutionarily inconvenient. That's not moral knowledge, it's moral cowardice wrapped in intellectual language. 5. Objective truth still exists, even if our knowledge is limited. You conclude that relative certainty is all there is. That's a contradiction. If all certainty is relative, then that statement itself must also be relative, and thus not certainly true. But if it is certainly true, then not all certainty is relative. You've defeated your own position. The Christian view doesn't deny limitations in human knowledge. It simply denies that those limitations destroy truth itself. In fact, it affirms that truth is knowable because God is knowable. Not fully, but truly. That's the difference. Final thought. While the naturalist swims in a sea of probability with no shore in sight, the Christian walks a path with a guide, even if the trail winds through mystery. The choice isn't between uncertainty and certainty, it's between chaotic relativism and purposeful revelation. Truth isn't chocolate or vanilla. Truth is a person, Jesus Christ, John 14:6. And that changes everything.